This decision was promulgated on July 25, 2025, declaring said complaint to be unconstitutional, void ab initio, violative of due process, and that the Senate in the first place did not acquire jurisdiction over it. Take note, Mr. President, it even said that the decision is immediately executory.
Council's answer to the question, anong mangyayari ngayon pag sinabi na natin ang isang justice of the Supreme Court at ayaw niya sumunod? The answer is not responsive. Sa tingin ko naman ay susundin niya. Hindi, sagutin mo ang tanong. Ano mangyayari ngayon kung ayaw niya? Sagutin mo. Your answer should be responsive, and I'm not asking you to answer at this time. You've been asked that several times by the presiding officer, and you insist on hypothecating that you will obey. Eh kung hindi nga niya gagawin, ano ngayon ang mangyayari sa impeachment court? Di away kami ng Korte Suprema? And will you assist us during that? Will you enlighten the public on what is the proper balance of power between an impeachment court and the Supreme Court?
Maaaring magsampa ng impeachment complaint ang mamamayan laban sa mga miyembro ng Supreme Court. Ito ang inihayag ng dating kongresista na si Lorenzo Erintañada III na ngayon ay acting president ng Liberal Party sa gitna ng pagkadismaya ng publiko sa naging desisyon ng SC.
Ito na naman tayo Ginagamit na naman natin yung publiko.
Ginagamit pa yung mamamayan, ginagamit ang taong bayan.
Para sa sarili niyong kapakanan. Nakikita nyo yung ng isang estudyante, hindi lahat ng taong bayan, hindi lahat ng mamamayan ay estupido kagaya ng mga iniisip ninyo.
Nalabag sa Constitution ang Articles of Impeachment laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ngunit ayon sa dating mambabatas, wala silang balak isulong ang hakbang na ito.
I am not advocating it, so if there's someone who feels that this constitutes a betrayal of public trust, then it is up to those people to file the necessary impeachment case.
Hindi naman siya naniniwala na magdudulot ng constitutional crisis sakaling may maghain ng impeachment complaint laban sa mga maestrado ng SC.
Sa mga hindi nakamove on dyan at dakdak ng dakdak, pakinggan nyo na lang ito, panoorin nyo ang video ng dating Senador Miriam Defensor Santiago at ni Senador Rodante Marcolita. At pakinggan din po natin ang sasabihin ng magkapatid na si Senador Alan Peter Cayetano at Senadora Pia Cayetano. Maging si Senador Chis Escudero. Hindi po kami ang nagsasalita, yung mga senador na po mismo at saka yung mga abogado. Kaya mag-move on na tayo. Huwag na nating ipilit yung gusto natin. Hindi kayo pinipigilang mag-file ng impeachment. Nandyan pa yung 2026 sa February. Kung gusto nyo talaga ng accountability, then doon nyo i-file ulit. Huwag nyo nang ipilit yung ngayon dahil mali nga mali. Ang dami nang nagsasabi na
Council wants to place this impeachment court in a direct collision course with the Supreme Court. Council's answer to the question, anong mangyayari ngayon pag sinabi na natin ang isang justice of the Supreme Court at ayaw niya sumunod? The answer is not responsive. Sa tingin ko naman ay susundin niya. Hindi, sagutin mo ang tanong. Ano mangyayari ngayon kung ayaw niya? Sagutin mo. Your answer should be responsive, and I'm not asking you to answer at this time. You've been asked that several times by the presiding officer, and you insist on hypothecating that you will obey. Eh kung hindi nga niya gagawin, ano ngayon ang mangyayari sa impeachment court? Di away kami ng Korte Suprema? And will you assist us during that? Will you enlighten the public on what is the proper balance of power between an impeachment court and the Supreme Court? Ngayon, gusto mo na yung confidentiality privilege ng Supreme Court should be, for at least in this instance, should be disregarded. Tatlong branches ng gobyerno, tatlong sangay ng gobyerno, executive, legislative, and judicial. Bawat isa may privilege. Executive, may executive privilege. Legislative, may legislative privilege during executive sessions, as we call it. Judicial, may judicial privilege, also known as deliberative privilege or deliberative process privilege. Pag nagde-deliberate ang Supreme Court, hindi mo pwedeng tanungin iyan tungkol sa kanilang pag-deliberate. Kamukha lang sa legislation. Pag nag-closed door session ang Senate or ang House, hindi mo pwedeng tanungin ang mga legislators, senators and representatives what they took up in a closed door session. Ganon din sa judiciary. Eh bakit ngayon? We are singling out one branch of government so that we can penetrate the rule of confidentiality. Anong klaseng argumento yan? Do you recognize that you're asking this nation to go on a direct collision between two separate branches of government? Have you fully thought out your position? Tinatanong ka ng presiding officer, ilang beses ka nang tinanong, ano ngayon mangyayari kung isapina namin, utusan namin ang justice at ayaw niyang sumunod? I-cite namin siya for contempt. Ano ngayon mangyayari? Magpapakulong ba siya sukat? Eh kung i-cite din niya kami for contempt, o ano ngayon ang sagot mo? Pag-iisipan muna natin ito because we're talking about the entire nation. This is not a question of pataasan ng ihi. Sino mas malakas, ang Supreme Court or Impeachment Court? Hanggat sa maaari, maglilihis tayo para hindi tayo nagkukonfrontasi. Ganun yun. Kami kasing sawsawero doon eh. Mas marunong pa sila sa nag-aral ng batas. Palagi silang sasabing technicality. Exactly. The law is exactly a body of technicalities. That's why you need 4 years of law school plus 1 year of the bar, in all, a total of 9 years, para malaman mo kung ano itong mga teknikalidad na ito. Dahil kung wala tayong mga teknikalidad na iyan, wala tayong tinatawag na rule of law. Wala tayong tinatawag na due process of law. Kaya, itong mga iba na nagdudung-dunungan, akala mo kung marunong pa sila sa abogado sa dating hukom o sa mga hukom ngayon, nakaupo. Kung ano ng mga pinagsasabi, so filled with hubris about their ignorance. Kasi kursunada nila. O kaya meron silang intuition. O kaya meron silang conscience. Para bang ang konsyensya nila mas malakas ng sa konsyensya ng lahat ng tao sa buong bansa. Yun ang problema sa bansa na ito. Nagdudunong-dunungan.
Mr. President, this decision was promulgated on July 25, 2025, declaring said complaint to be unconstitutional, void ab initio, violative of due process, and that the Senate in the first place did not acquire jurisdiction over it. Take note, Mr. President, it even said that the decision is immediately executory. But before I continue, Mr. President, let me put on record that the initial proceedings, impeachment proceedings conducted by the Senate in the 19th Congress have never been formally carried over to the Senate of the 28th Congress. I do not know and I'm not aware, I cannot recall of any action so far taken by this august chamber to the effect that the initial impeachment proceedings, which were deemed to have been terminated at the expiration of the 19th Congress at noon of June 30, 2025, have been miraculously brought to life into the present Congress. That having said, Mr. President, I'd like to continue. Mr. President, the decision of the Supreme Court did not dwell on the intrinsic merits of the impeachment complaint filed against the Vice President. It zeroed in merely on the procedures and the processes taken by the House of Representatives. To repeat, it declared the whole impeachment complaint constituting the articles of impeachment to be unconstitutional, violative of due process, void ab initio. Simply because the rules of procedure in impeachment proceedings in the House of Representatives were never followed. And they violated the 1-year ban on multiple impeachment complaints as prescribed under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 5, which says that no impeachment proceedings shall be initiated against the same official more than twice within a period of 1 year. Napakasimple po ng sinasabi doon, Mr. President. No impeachment proceeding should be initiated against the same person more than twice within a period of 1 year. Ilan po ang impeachment proceedings, impeachment complaints na ipinail ng House of Representatives? 4 po eh. The first one started in December 2. Sumunod po December 4. Meron pang sumunod na December 19 hanggang sa umabot po noong February 5. Yun nga pong ipinangangalandakan na impeachment complaint which was signed by more than 1/3 of the members of the House of Representatives. Nasunod po ba? Nasunod po ba ang tuntunin ng House of Representatives? Noon pong nag-require ang Supreme Court, Mr. President, tinanong po yung House of Representatives in connection with the 2 petitions filed by several parties before the Supreme Court. One of the items required by the Supreme Court is for the House to give the status of the first 3 complaints filed. Ano po ang sagot ng House of Representatives? Yun daw pong unang 3, the one filed in December 2, December 4, and December 19, were all archived. Nasaan po sa rules ng House na yun pong mga impeachment complaints na ifa-file ay i-archive? Wala po. Pwede po bang ipakita yung slide na kung saan ay makikita natin ano po ba ang proseso kapag may nag-file na isang impeachment complaint? Ayan po yung Rule 2. Ang sinasabi po sa Rule 2, Mr. President, hindi sa Rule 3, sa Rule 3. Rule 2, Section 3. A verified complaint for impeachment by a member of the House or by any citizen upon a resolution or endorsement by any member thereof shall be filed with the office of the Secretary General and immediately referred to the Speaker. Bakit hindi po nasunod ang tuntunin na ito, Mr. Speaker? Kailan po ni-refer ng Secretary General sa opisina ng Speaker yung impeachment complaint dated December 2, 2024? Kailan po ni-refer ng Office of the Secretary General yung impeachment complaint na i-file noong December 4? Wala po silang sagot. Kailan po ni-refer ng Office of the Secretary General yung impeachment complaint that was received on December 19? Wala po silang sinasabi. Kung titingnan po natin ang sagot ng Solicitor General in behalf of the House of Representatives, ang sabi po nila, the Secretary General diligently referred simultaneously all the impeachment complaints to the office of the Speaker on February 5, 2025. Immediately po ba yan, Mr. Speaker? December 2, December 4, December 19, at isinama po yung February 5, all of them were simultaneously referred to the office of the Speaker on February 5. 2 buwan po ang kanyang ginugol para lang i-refer sa Office of the Speaker. Ano po ang immediate doon? Wala po. Wala po silang sinunod. Wala silang ni-refer at ni-refer nga po delayed. Nung ma-refer po, ang sabi po ng Solicitor General, the 4 impeachment complaints were included in the order of business doon po sa session number 36. You will note, Mr. Speaker, hindi po niya ibinigay bilang annex yung order of business in section number 36. Ang kanya pong ipinakita ay yung journal number 36. Bakit po? Sapagkat hindi totoo na yung 4 na impeachment complaints were included in the order of business. Mr. President, I have a copy of the order of business, session number 36. And I will deposit a copy to the office of the Senate Secretary for everyone to see and examine for themselves kung talagang in-include nila sa order of business. Wala po. Saan po nila in-include? Doon sa journal. Iba po yung journal sa order of business. Alam po niyo kung bakit lang nalagay sa journal, Mr. Speaker? Idinagdag po nila as additional reference of business. That is not the requirement of the Constitution. Pwede po ba nating makita yung slide, ano yung sinasabi po ng Constitution? A verified complaint for impeachment may be filed by the member of the House. Blah, blah, blah. Sinasabi po rito, iba yun. Hindi po yun. Sorry po. Nakalagay po, in-include sa 10th session day. Yun po yung section number 36. Hindi po totoo yun. Ilang violations na po? Kanina po, in-archive po yung tatlong violations. Hindi po ni-refer sa Committee on Justice. Pangatlong violation. 6 na po. Ngayon sinasabi po, in-include po sa order of business. Hindi rin po. 3 violations na naman. 9 na po. At sabi po nila, yung session 36 is the 10th session. Hindi po. Bilangin po natin yung December 2. That was the date when the first complaint was filed, endorsed, and received by the Office of the Secretary General. December 2 is session number 26. Mr. President, bilangin po ninyo yung session number 26 up to session 36 na sinasabi ng Solicitor General. Yun po ang 11th session. That was not the 10th session.
Are you truly for accountability or simply anti-Duterte? Do you truly respect and want to preserve the Constitution or you simply hate the Vice President? Are you serving the nation's interest or protecting and pursuing your own personal ambitions or agenda? Are you fighting for truth or are you simply after revenge? Are you truly?
At hindi ba tama naman yung sinabi ng Supreme Court? Dapat may impeachment pero hindi dapat gamitin ito ng magkalaban lang sa politika. Ayaw natin maging presidente si Vice President Sara, talunin nyo na lang sa 2028.
I declare fealty to the Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines. Idudugtong ko yung oath na yon dun sa sinabi ng Supreme Court na kailangan sundin ang Constitution. At siya ho ang magpapaliwanag kung paano i-interpret ang Constitution. My duty as a senator and as a lawyer is to be guided by evidence, by the rule of law, and by the principles enshrined in our Constitution. For these reasons, Mr. President, I cast my vote as yes. Thank you.